Start the Energy and Environment Advisory Committee meeting for July 22nd with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. In terms of roll call, I think we're missing Chris and George?
Correct. But we have a quorum.
We have a quorum. There's outgoing discussions or ongoing discussions regarding a few of the members, or one of the members' continued participation. George. Hoping to hear from him or someone to connect with him soon. But I think if George drops, then we technically have 3 spots open. Or we need to replace him with someone from the Conservation Commission. Right?
That's correct. We need someone from the Conservation Commission.
Yeah.
If I can interject, we have Carla who has applied for the position, one of the open spots. It'll be reviewed by the Town Council in the August 15th meeting.
Yep.
If you could just touch base with her and send something to Wendy saying that you talked with her.
Yep, that was the plan today. Yeah.
And we have another gentleman here, Al Mendino, who's interested, and he's going to audit the program tonight or the meeting tonight. And so if we can get these 2 filled, and then the Conservation Committee will be at full strength.
Yep. Perfect. Okay. Public comments. You don't need to say anything. All right, and then we didn't have a quorum last month, so we weren't able to approve the May minutes. And because we didn't have a quorum, the meeting from last month was only a working group or something?
Yeah, it was the notes from last
Okay, so there's no minutes to approve from June, but do I have a motion to approve the minutes from May?
I'll make a motion to approve our energy and environment meeting minutes from May 27th, 2026.
All those in favor? Aye. Okay, minutes pass from May 27th. And the next order is, we discussed this during the May meeting, I think, but the adoption for rules for proceeding regarding public comment at meetings, or open meetings. I don't know if we need to go into detail on it. We can, or we can just make a motion.
Yeah, I'll
give some background.
So,
okay.
Each committee can make their own rules, how they want to operate and whatever. One of the rules that is suggested that all the committees adopt is called the rules of procedure on how we will deal with public comment. At our last might attend the meeting and try to disrupt it. So in order to legally prevent that from happening in the future, if we make a rule how we're going to operate our committee that says people are limited to public speaking for 3 minutes, they have to be a resident of the Town of Newmarket or have a business here or be an invited guest, and they can make comments to the committee, but not to expect a response from the committee because we as a committee have not had an opportunity to discuss it. So the thing is that we are asking to adopt these particular rules for procedures that will govern how public comment will be dealt with at all our future meetings. And the rules will have to be printed at the bottom of the agenda, and you'll have to state those rules at the beginning of every meeting. So,
those rules sound good to me. So if a public person makes a comment of 4 minutes or less, we may choose to respond or not respond.
That's correct. We can also we can suspend the rules at any time. If there's somebody that comes in that we really want to have a dialogue with, we can suspend the rule and have a back and forth dialogue. Also, if somebody's up there talking for 3 minutes, 4 minutes, whatever, it's really up to the chair what you want to do. Yeah, we'll say, okay, stop. In reality, it's
public
99% of the time nobody attends. For that 1% of the time that people do attend, it's usually, something that we do want to talk about anyway.
So we have to give him a gavel first.
That sounds excellent.
He's got the first.
Careful what you wish for.
I believe last time you said we modeled these or pulled these from the town council.
That's correct. It's the same rules that the town council has, basically.
Yeah, more. I think we suggested a few minor tweaks to the language. Or Chris might have, but I'm not that picky when it comes to.
If you want, I can display them, or no, just...
Sure. Yeah. Did we make any tweaks, or did you kind of leave it as is?
I don't believe we did.
Okay.
Okay, so, Newmarket Energy and Environment Committee, Rule for Procedures, Public Comment. Welcome to the evening Energy and Environment Committee meeting. Please note that the purpose of this meeting is for the committee to accomplish its work within a quantified time frame. Meetings are open to the public, but public participation is limited. If you wish to be heard by the committee, please address the committee during the public comment time at the beginning of the meeting. Comments must be related to items on the meeting agenda and/or matters pertaining to the business or interests of this committee. Speakers must be a resident of the town of Newmarket, property owners of the town of Newmarket, and/or designated representatives of a recognized civic organization of business located within the town of Newmarket, or an invited guest. Prior to addressing the committee, the speakers must first recite their name and address for the record. That's all committees have to do that anytime somebody speaks. Visitors should address their comments pertaining to the presiding officer and the committee as a body, not to any individual member. Each speaker shall be provided a single opportunity to comment, limited to 3 minutes. Public forum shall be limited to a total of 15 minutes. Visitors should not expect a response to their comments or questions, since the committee may not have discussed or taken a position on the matter. Public forum is not a two-way dialogue between speaker and the committee. The chair will preserve a strict order of decorum at the committee meetings at all times. Outbursts from the public are not permitted. So, again, it's just to prevent anybody from coming in and kind of like trying to take over the meeting and bully somebody.
Is this something that we have to read regardless of whether there's public here?
Yes.
Okay.
You make a bulleted list?
Yeah, can we abbreviate it? We can ask co-pilots.
I suppose you can say, hey, we do have certain rules. Seeing as there's nobody here, we do have rules for procedures, but I'll waive them tonight.
Yeah, I think if we just have them available and
Just waive it.
for the rare occasion that we have actual people, if
Yeah.
Well, again,
read
it's supposed to be printed at the bottom of the agenda,
Right.
So that when people come in, if you give them the agenda, they'll be able to see it.
you just have to update the adopted. So we didn't have a quorum last month. It still says June.
Oh, yeah. Is there reference in there to the committee having the right to waive the rule?
It's not actually worded in there, but
Yeah, it's an inherent
the other
power
Implied.
of the committee, regardless of what that says. It's in our bylaws.
Okay.
If it's adopted by the committee, we can remove it by the committee. So
Whatever we want.
just vote it.
Okay.
It's not like it needs public noticing and timing per se.
Yeah.
Is qualitative supposed to be quantitative? Can you tie that?
It's in the bottom of the first paragraph.
Where am I?
It's in the first paragraph.
Keep going up.
The second line. The second line of the first paragraph. Yeah, right there. Is that supposed to be quanta?
I would believe that should be quantitative, huh?
Okay.
Q-U-A-N. Is that right? I must go with that.
Thank you.
A-T-A-N. Quantitative time frame. Yes.
Did you
Good
say
catch.
it right? He said it right, he was reading.
Good catch.
Okay. So do we have a first to approve that?
Motion
Oh,
Zach?
I'll second.
to, sorry to steal your thunder.
All those in favor? Aye. All right, the motion to adopt rules for proceeding regarding public comment passes. And will be incorporated starting with next month. Okay, I think we can move on to community power updates, which I may have
Okay.
a or two get into.
So, I do this every month. You guys, I give an update on where. This committee is also is the committee that's supposed to make recommendations to the town council about community power. Okay, so we can't make any actual decisions. We make recommendations to the town council. You may not be aware that the last couple of cycles, community power, we contract with Community Power Coalition of New Hampshire to get our electric supply. In the last couple of months, or last couple of cycles, the community power rate for residential rate has been higher than Eversource's. Okay, so where we are right now is, doing some statistics on how much it's costing us and all that. And one of the things we are, as a committee, is starting to look at is, okay, do we move on from Community Power Coalition for electric supply and contract with some other kind of broker? Tonight we were supposed to have a presentation from a company called ECM Power, and they were going to talk about their, how they go about purchasing electricity for communities like Newmarket. So that's kind of a very high-level background. So here's some statistics. In Newmarket, there are roughly 5,682 electric meters. 3,861 are on Newmarket power supply from Newmarket Community Power. So that's roughly 68% of the electric meters in Newmarket get their supply from Newmarket Community Power. This past month, there were 5 people that opted out. These are people that call the 866 number, and say, hey, I want to opt out of community power and go back to Eversource because they're cheaper, or they may have some other provider that they want to go with. New unenrolled. We have a lot of apartments in Newmarket, and so when somebody leaves and a new person comes into that dwelling, they are automatically defaulted back to the default provider, which is Eversource. So if the other person was on Newmarket Community Power and somebody else moves in, that new person that moves in is defaulted to Eversource. Occasionally, or on certain times, Community Power will send out a note to these people and say, hey, we're going to opt you into Newmarket Community Power, unless you want to opt out. Last March, April was the last time that we did a refresh, which is, send notes out to those people that have unenrolled and defaulted back into Eversource. And I think it was like out of 755 notices that went out, 750 were rolled back into Newmarket Community Power. So those are the statistics. We tend to lose, somewhere 1% to 2% of people because they move or whatever, or they opt out. We lose roughly 1 or 2% per month, and the statistics are kind of like going along with that. Community Power and Eversource announced their new rates that are to take effect August 1st, and that will go through the end of January 2027. Community Power's residential rate for our basic product is going to be 14.14969 cents per kilowatt hour. The current rate is 14.663, so that represents a 1.95% increase for the upcoming rate period. The average, mythical average person or household uses 650 kilowatts per month. I don't know, my house is certainly not average.
I think the average is brought down because most of the meters are apartments. Right.
That's quite possible. This is a statewide average. I could probably figure that out, based on.
Well, I was going to ask if I can interject now. On the monthly stats, I was curious if going forward we could see, like, the usage, the actual kilowatt hour consumption every month.
Okay. Yeah. I do actually have a report that I'm working on that I will start showing with the next thing. But we don't get the audited results are like 3 or 4 months behind because from Eversource and whatever, and we have a certain amount of electricity that we know we're billing for. ISO comes back to Eversource and says, okay, yeah, you billed for 7 megawatts of power. We actually delivered you 8 megawatts of power. So then they have to make up. Eversource passes it out to Community Power and everybody else that they supply to, and we have to pick up. So the bottom line is we don't get the audited results until a couple of months after the fact. But I do have something that I'm working on that shows what our monthly usage is. And that includes, though, it's residential, outdoor lighting, and small businesses. The outdoor lighting and small businesses represent a very small portion of the thing, but they're in the base rate that we calculate all this stuff on. But yeah, I will have that.
Okay, that's a question.
Yeah.
Sure.
So, the town supplies on Eversource, right?
The town is defaulted but to Eversource. Eversource does the delivery mechanism, yes.
Well, just to clarify, the town's like municipal power. Yeah.
I know the streetlights are Eversource, but the municipal buildings are also.
They don't use Eversource for supply. They obviously we do for distribution, but it's it's a different.
An independent contract.
Yeah.
Oh, all right, but they're not on community power.
Correct.
Okay. Aren't community power's rates, or is the community power rate is a blended rate of whatever people have chosen in terms of the higher classes, or they want a higher percentage of community power, right? They're buying more reps. So I presume that the community power rate is a blended rate depending on what people have chosen.
This is the base rate.
Community Power offers different rates for when you say what they've chosen. You can choose the base rate, which has 25% clean energy, is what you're talking about, and then there's a basic, which is 33%. Yeah, so it is a blend of that. Less than 1% of new people on Newmarket Community Power have selected a higher level of whatever. So
Source is about a little under 25%, right?
for the clean energy, correct, right. So anyway, it's a blended of not just residential, but the outdoor lighting and small business represent a small portion of it. But yeah, I will have that statistics. Eversource rate's going to be 14.009. Their prior rate was 11.303. It represents a 19.32% increase. So the average monthly increase, if you're an Eversource person before and an Eversource person now, your monthly rate will go up. If you're an average person, 650 kilowatts, it'll go up $17.59. If you were on Community Power and you switch back to Eversource, you can save $6.24 a month using the Eversource rate compared to the Community Power rate for an average household of 650 kilowatts per month. So I did want to add some additional notes here. Although Eversource is slightly cheaper than, again, for this rate period, Eversource has stated that for the last 3 rate periods, they have undercollected electric supply to the tune of $38 million, which they plan to start recovering with this upcoming rate and future rate periods. Eversource also stated that their rate should be in the 15-cent region for the upcoming rate period, but their rate is set by formula, set by the Public Utilities Commission. Okay. Ooh. I did this boo-boo today. Let me fix that right now. 866. Okay. I want to make it clear to people that you can easily switch from community power to Eversource or back at no cost, simply by calling 1-866-603-POWER, P-O-W-R, that's 7697. You just need to have your Eversource account number. I did a posting on Facebook this morning, and I did 1-800. Do not call the 1-800 number. It's amazing that a call center has already been set up at 1-800-POWER, and they will try to scam you or get you to pay to switch you. So it's 1-866-603-7697. You can switch for no cost. Okay.
I hope you edited that post.
It's amazing that they already have a call center set up to handle dumb people like me. Okay. The town council has so we have a couple of documents. One is called the cost sharing agreement that we've entered into with Community Power Coalition of New Hampshire that says how we are going to be billed by them and if we want to terminate, what the rules for the termination are. There's also this aggregation plan. So the town council has approved or asked the town manager to ask our lawyer to take a look at the cost sharing agreement and the electric aggregation plan to see what it is for us to withdraw from community power if we so wish to do so. Again, my preference is that we don't at this point. There's a number of good reasons to stay with community power, but that's for another conversation. Something that I didn't put in here that I'm starting to work on is, like you say, I have how much electricity we use, what the prices are for us, what the prices for Eversource are. And we went live in March of 2024. In the first 18 months through March through July of 2025, we saved the town residents $450,000 on their electric rate compared to what it would have been under Eversource. Okay. Then with Eversource then being cheaper the last couple of cycles, as of December of last year, that $450,000 saving had been eroded to roughly $100,000 in saving. And I just got the stuff through March. I haven't added it all up, but I'm sure validated it. But I'm sure we're going to see that we're now in the red. That compared to Eversource, we put more, or it's cost residents more than had they been on Eversource. But again, keep in mind that Eversource is undercharged for the last number of couple of cycles, and they're going to try to recover that money. So that is my presentation on community power where we are right now. Questions, comments?
Do we know what percentage of the under collection, that 38 million, they expect to recover through this current rate increase?
I know somewhere I have what it was. It's like 0.009 cents is what they're trying to recover. But again, they've already said that our rate for this upcoming period is 14-something cents. It should be in the 15-cent range. So they fully expect to lose money again this upcoming rate cycle, with the possibility that because of it's an El Nino year that we may in fact have a very mild winter, in which case maybe everybody may make out.
Wasn't it an El Nino year last year too?
Last year was one of the coldest winters in 20 years, I understand.
No, I know it was intense, but I think it was. Yes.
Another question?
Sure.
Just, you mentioned that in the first year or two, community power to save people a lot of money. And I guess community power, since community power is buying the RECs, and it's buying the renewable energy credits, and its blended rate is higher than the base rate, it's buying more RECs than Eversource. How can its rate be?
So the community power has a couple of different rates, right? I don't really have it here.
That rate he's quoting is the base rate with the comparable level of clean energy to Eversource. So like the 14.6 or 969 is the base default rate. If you wanted to opt into like 50% clean energy,
right.
it would be even higher.
Right.
Yeah.
So because of all that, community power has to be more expensive because you're paying premium for green energy, right?
Yes.
Well, but they charge a higher rate for the the higher levels of clean energy, and that higher rate buys the additional RECs
Yeah.
that they need.
Like if I opt into 50% clean energy, I'm not paying 14,969. I'm probably paying like 15 plus.
I understand that. So I guess what I'm saying is how can, so that I get, I completely understand that. I'm just wondering how, if you're participating in it's not necessarily a criticism. If you're participating in community power, you're doing it because you want to buy, the RECs, you want to contribute to the energy.
The question is, how can they
Basically,
be
paying for more energy, paying more for energy.
So Eversource is doing the same thing. Eversource
Yeah.
has to buy 25%, whatever,
Right.
clean energy RECs or whatever, and community power has to do that. And those RECs are included in the rate formula when they develop that 14,969 rate.
If you're asking, how can they be competitive?
How
can community power be competitive in its prices?
and that's
We
not
had
the
a
job.
presentation, I don't know, a year or two ago by a community power person who said that really their only advantage is their ability to change contracts, to change purchases more rapidly than Eversource can. So the energy comes available at a good price. They can jump on it faster than Eversource can. And that hasn't been happening, so they've been falling behind. Is that correct, Joe?
Well, that and other things have happened too, yes.
Yes.
Because of new launches, new communities that were coming on
Yeah.
board. They couldn't come on board unless the rate was lower than
I don't
Eversource.
want to hijack the meeting. So that actually makes sense to me, so thank you.
Joe, you go back to the rate period notes, so the town council approving approved legal review, did they give a timeline on when they expect that to be completed?
No, it did not. I can tell you right now, it's it's pretty clear. It's a section there, termination or withdrawal. It could take potentially up to 36 months because community power buys electricity for us into the future. And so, if we were to pull out and they bought electricity for us, they're kind of leaving the other communities to pick up the pieces. And so
Yeah, or we're basically
we would either have to buy our way out, and we can't use taxpayer money to buy our way out. So.
Yeah, I guess there's really no ability for us. I mean, we can make a recommendation on the town council, but they're not going to act until that essentially is complete, that review. And so it's kind of a moot point until that's complete, in my mind. I will say that, when we had the presentation from Freedom Energy, at least for my stances, I think as beneficial as community power, that the pros it has, at the end of the day, you're essentially trading one company, Eversource, default rate, beholden to whatever they set for another company, in this case, Community Power Coalition New Hampshire, and whatever rate they set.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're just kind of trading one for the other, hoping that one stays more competitive. And you can, whatever the merits are to their business strategy, like I'm not an expert on their business strategy, so I'm not sure this. And so it just kind of goes back to what is the point of having Newmarket be a coalition of users if we're just trading one company for another instead of using our ability to basically buy the market and source whatever.
The intent is to a couple of things. One, to give choice for different levels of energy. Also to give choice, who we want to be your electric provider. The hope was that the electric supply that Newmarket Community Power contracts with would be cheaper than the default Eversource. But again, too, there's additional products and things that Community Power offers that Eversource doesn't, you know, higher levels of energy. I can tell you, I'm on the Risk Management Committee. One of the things we are working on is getting a higher level of clean energy. Right now, the clean energy, you know, the RECs that they buy, they have to buy them from New England, and they're higher than if you were to buy the RECs from out Midwest. So we're looking at doing some kind of a product that gets RECs from out in the Midwest, and so that we could offer a 100% clean energy product that is cheaper than, say the 50% REC purchase that product that Community Power has right now.
Yeah, I mean, that may be something that like is advantageous for people. We could say as a committee that's a goal for the town.
Well,
if that's what we want
the
to
town
do.
does have a resolution or a goal to be 100% clean energy for the facilities by 2030, and then 100% clean energy for the town by 2050, and some way in the future. So
I guess to that like argument, we're kind of just, we have no say or ability to influence that through, I mean, aside from like, yes, I know that you're on the risk committee and all that, but as New York Community Power, we don't have the ability to influence that with the New Hampshire Coalition. If you go with green energy, yes, you're paying that, like, not to take that into account, but you're paying that slight fee to them to do the contracting for us. We could literally tell them, like, we want to contract with X amount. We're taking it directly into our hands, and I think everything has its trade-offs. Now you're using basically a broker to do that for you versus coalition doing that for you.
well, everything I've seen from going the broker route is the brokers are in fact cheaper than Eversource and Community Power. And it kind of looks like, if I understand correctly, that there's less of a risk. You know, if you want to bail at the end of your contract and go with somebody else, you can easily do that.
Yeah, I think
And,
we can set more of our terms of what they're doing for us. And so I guess we can't, I mean, we could talk about it more at the meeting, but until that's kind of resolved, we're not really able to make a recommendation. We can keep having people come and there's other companies talk to us, but I think at a certain point, it's kind of like we can't really progress this.
I agree. At a certain point, you know, wait till this guy comes back, the lawyer comes back and says, okay, here's what you have to do, and then we have to make a decision, I think. Okay, do we in fact go the broker route, or do we stay with Community Power and, you know, continue to tell people, hey, call the 866 number and, you know, pick your best shot, man. Yeah.
Is that the only place that you advertise that, is on Facebook?
Yes.
Is there like anything sent out to the town or anything like that?
We also put it on the town website in the newsletter.
New residents get like a mailer, right?
I don't know what new residents are.
I thought they did.
I
It
know
would be
when
nice
when they did the flyer out, you showed us, because Chris had asked about it, when they were sending out that notice, she wanted to see what that looked like. So they do have it's not like a standard form, but kind of a flyer that it does detail like your abilities to do all that. So it's not one of those classic like hides it in the fine print, like it's very clear. I don't know if that's like because of state law or just what, but it is clear. And then yes, when they opt in, it's like when we all got, I think when we first rolled that out, like almost 2 years ago, 2 years ago now, at least in that I remember it's pretty spelled out pretty clear, like you are opted in, you have to actively opt out, but just call us number to do it.
That's all I got.
I'll reiterate, I think I've said this every meeting, but I do think there are non-quantitative, qualitative values for CPCNH that the other brokers don't provide, including like working with the PUC and the state from a regulation perspective. So, I mean, this could go for any broker, but like, I think it does make sense to have the town participate with or provide optionality for the residents because it introduces competition to the market, whether that's with CFP, CNH, or Freedom, or whomever. this is a standing agenda item, but I don't know if you've heard any updates, Lindsay, from school regarding feasibility study or any of our projects that we ran our feasibility study through.
Updates, the school is still working on the feasibility study for the athletic field option, and we should have that, I believe, for discussion in August.
Okay.
And August, they're targeting it for this season, so.
Yeah.
There should be more information on that soon, as far as other road projects and everything else.
Yeah. Where would that be sitting? Is that like the Soul Smart feasibility study and the potential projects either here at the police station, DPW, yeah. Like who would that be sitting with right now, if anyone? Like for like next steps.
Basically waiting for building renovation to go forward.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I kind of figured. All right. Similar vein. We discussed this last meeting, but potential project at the library, and I'm sticking with it. Trin, I haven't heard anything, but hoping to set something up with them. I met with someone at 603 Solar this afternoon. Just bumped into them. It turns out they did the Lee Library. I didn't realize that, but I think that's great. One of them is Newmarket based, so.
They did the Newmarket Constitution.
Oh, they did. Okay, yeah. So if we were, I think having a developer would be a good. I don't know if we can do that, but have like in this event that we potentially have with the library and pulling in Clean Energy New Hampshire, having a developer there for their expertise, I think would be valuable. The Lee one, exactly. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. 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 He gave me some tonight. One being that the Lee Library has heat pumps for heating, and he didn't know that, or they didn't know that, and so they maybe like undersized the system. But also, I guess there's Eversource has a battery incentive for emergency response buildings, where they'll cover like 50% of the batteries cost. So I don't know. I still am iffy on the tax credit eligibility for batteries for solar panels, but I think it's longer for batteries, and so like if you get 30% off the battery cost and Eversource covers half, or Eversource covers half, and then you get 30% off, like that's pretty good deal. So coupling solar plus batteries obviously is a good idea if you can cover most of the cost there. But yeah, the current status there is waiting to hear back from Kitrin. So yeah.
Have you had any more discussions with Eversource about the home energy audit, or somebody's been in there?
No, I have not. I inquired about whether or not they have like handouts and information that we can share with after that, and just put on the table. I can follow up with Sam on that and see if we can provide just file-wise. Aside from that, I think it's when we could have Sam or another representative from Eversource come and talk to the committee about organizing some residential event and selecting a date. I don't know if you want to potentially consider making that align with the library discussion, or if it would be independent and maybe coordinate with our library. Sometimes they can host events.
Yeah,
in
that's
their
what I'm
space
saying.
that you can toss around some ideas with them on time frames. Unless something they want to do, come here and provide that. And I did find out, we had some questions about New Hampshire Saves and Clean Energy New Hampshire. New Hampshire Saves is the utilities. So when I talked to Sam at Eversource, she said she had information on New Hampshire Saves program and rebates and information like that being provided when they do the thing for the event for residents. They come in, and she said they can actually have people like sit with residents and go line by line through their bills to explain what the different elements and components are, to help people understand, and then talk about what their needs are in terms of if they can do home energy audits, to ways that they will save or have for their energy efficiency.
Great.
So I will follow up with Sam. Our next meetings, as we discussed, like the dates for what the next meetings are going to be, and we'll do targeting the September meeting. Sounds like we have some other discussion items going on, but maybe we could have Sam come for that and talk about what that program looks like and how you would want it around then.
Yeah, I don't know if Emily said next month would be.
We can put her off any time. I had told her that, we're not going to do anything before the end of the cycle of February.
Yeah.
We're stuck with community power through February as far as I'm concerned. So.
Okay. Yeah, so if we haven't officially rescheduled and Sam is eligible or available,
I'll reach out to her and ask.
yeah, that'd be great.
We're going to talk about the backyard bash in a minute, but if you get some flyers or whatever for us to have at the backyard bash, that would be good.
Yeah, I'll contact her tomorrow. She said they probably have stuff that she can drop off. She just wasn't sure what and when we do it by, so I will talk with her tomorrow.
Pretty soon, right? Is it August 7th? The backyard bash day?
Yeah, Friday, August 7th.
Okay. I think that covers item 7. So, backyard bash, like we've just, I don't know if we want to just get into planning it because we've got a few weeks and.
Yeah, well, we're not going to have any more meetings until
Right,
before
exactly.
then, so
Yeah.
we should.
Yeah.
I have a tent, the pop-up tent and a table, and get the town tablecloths or whatever.
Awesome. I'll bring the games and even more organized than last year.
Amazing.
With the little trash cans. And candy, which will also be better than last year. Turns out the kids like the candy the most.
Shocking.
So,
Friday, August 7th, backyard bash. If anybody would like to volunteer some time and whatever to be there, just kind of stand behind the booth and act like you know what you're talking about.
And then you bring in the little kids or the families and say, hey, do you want to play this game? And we have like a little recycle game where they can decide whether the trash bag should go in the recycle bin or whatever. The box should go in the recycle bin or the trash. But this year we have an added element to it based on the Trex program.
Yeah, so I'll coordinate getting, I think we can just take the town hall bin.
It's still at the high school. I haven't had it.
Oh, really?
Go to the high school.
Okay, I can help you with that.
Did we have 4 or 3 or 4?
They only give us 3.
We only had 3? Oh, okay. I thought for sure we had 4.
What is it, at the library, at the high school, and where's
The rec center?
And at the rec center.
Yeah.
The library has to be emptied at least
they're killing
weekly.
it. Yeah. I'm actually tracking that data.
Oh, are you? That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
I would imagine the high school's not getting anything right now. And
Yeah, should we move it out of the high school and over to some other place?
Well, that was
here,
the
we're going to move
plan,
it to
yeah.
here.
Yeah, okay.
I wonder if people are showing up because I told people at the beginning, I posted on Facebook the beginning of July to like summarize last quarter and say bin from the high school is moving to the town hall. I thought it had. So partly on me because I wasn't around to do it, but yeah, we can. If you can't get around to it, I can just coordinate with the correct
Back to the
date.
backyard, you're going to work it?
Yeah.
I can be there for a while.
Yeah.
Anybody else wants to volunteer, just show up.
Yeah, I'll be there the whole time, but we welcome, and you guys, I know, like last year was there the whole time, but if anybody wants to drop in and stay for a while,
come say hi.
feel free.
Is it 5 to 8 or 3 to 8 or?
I think we set up around 5.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so it's after work.
Did they, when you filled out the form for it, do they provide any rules? This is the earliest you can start setting up your tent or anything like that?
I'm sure it's in the form or whatever, show up with them.
Okay.
But also too, I think usually they have a meeting prior to it. I don't know if they've already had it.
Yeah.
You know, where they talk to the vendors and whatever, and just, you know, kind of go over it.
Okay. Okay, so that is on August, what was it?
August 7th.
August 7th?
Friday.
It's already, right, yeah.
5 to 1:30.
5
Thank
to
you.
9:30?
Oh yeah, there's like fireworks, right? Did I see that?
That's right.
Yes, they have fireworks at night, assuming that,
It's not raining.
not raining.
I think I left before the fireworks last year.
Yeah, I
Did
wasn't
you guys
there for
stick
that,
around?
Yeah, I was there at the end. It was really impressive fireworks.
Really?
GPI fireworks, 250th celebration fireworks start at 9:10.
All right.
Ooh.
So-
So it starts at 5, so,
Yeah, 5 to 9:30.
okay, then I think setup is around 3.
Okay,
Too.
okay. Very good.
So yeah, with Julia's awesome recycling game, which is traditional recycling, which is like
why it's got
curbside. And,
wonderful recommendations, which we're thinking, which we have upgraded because
Yeah.
of.
thank
We'll see
you,
if she can
Sandra.
come through this year.
She'll I'll drag her. For Carla and Al, right? Just some awareness. We have, like, it's a lower priority for us, or maybe not a lower priority, but like probably not the top concern for the committee, which would be really the Community Power Coalition. Like recycling is one of our goals for this year, is like improving awareness. And so like we kind of just called it like reduce, reuse, recycle, which is like the old term. But from my perspective, I've been pushing for like cleaning up the recycling waste stream, which from my observation and others is mostly just like plastic bags is the biggest problem. We actually had Casella, who is our contractor for trash and recycling, speak quite a while ago now, maybe like 12 or 18 months or so ago, to the committee and give us some information around like how we're doing from a trash and recycling perspective. So what we were trying to think about is how to raise awareness for improving recycling practices. And the easiest thing from my view was get like plastic bags out of the stream, and it turns out that Trex, which is a company that makes decking using recycled plastic bags, so thin film stuff, has like a community program. Newfields, a town over, did one recently, and so with Chris, who's not here, her help, and everyone else in the committee, we started that program in like mid Q2. It's been going pretty well, but we're just trying to raise more awareness from using it.
Yeah, the single source, Casella's single source program is easy for residents, but it's like wish recycling.
Yeah, exactly.
Half
Yeah.
the stuff that goes in there can't be recycled.
Yep.
And plastic line for hot coffee, they didn't recycle it.
Yeah.
And so, it goes to Casella, says it's good machine, the big
Oh yeah.
plant, for,
Yep. Sorting.
I can't imagine how much that goes to the plant.
Right. They probably dump whole trucks.
Yeah, because people put in, like, but they kind of hope, oh, okay.
And actually, I'm on the budget committee, we spend a lot of money for that pickup.
Yeah. Yeah, I bet.
So,
Well, that was.
the best kind of recycling is to not get it into the waste stream.
Yeah.
But that's a different logistical problem.
Well, those numbers are interesting to me to see, because I don't know if Casella charges different rates for recycling versus like landfill waste, but like obviously diverting as much, if recycling is cheaper, diverting as much from the landfill to recycling makes sense. And then further to that, like composting, which we have a few bins at the transfer station, but beyond that, it's like Fox, which is paid, like customers have to, or residents have to opt into that. But
The last I saw, recycling is actually more expensive than just dumping it into the landfill, as far as
which is
the
not
charge
great.
we get from
It's
the
a small problem.
Yeah.
The numbers bear, with recycling, no one ever does the proper count, right?
Yeah.
Which is, You have to do it from soup to nuts. Nothing's free.
Yeah. So our solution is awareness, I guess, and that really all comes down to with committees anyway. Typically, is like informational campaigns. So I mentioned something. We did talk about this. It was circulated via email. It wasn't like a public conversation, but styrofoam recycling, which there's a forget the town in central New Hampshire that does this and has like a pretty well established setup. And Exeter recently started one. Goffstown? Thank you. Okay. Exeter's is still pretty new, and it sounds like it's open only to Exeter residents. But something like exploring that would be interesting to me. I mentioned this to a few town councilors via email that an alternative to participating in Exeter styrofoam recycling would be looking at participating or exploring like which restaurants in town offer takeout containers that are styrofoam versus plastic versus compostable materials, whatever, and so either discouraging or banning something like that. It seems like banning is probably a harder path, but it's a carrots or sticks situation, I think, is anyway, the long-winded talk here, but just thoughts around recycling is generally my.
We should probably talk about that more, at a meeting, styrofoam recycling and, plastic recycling.
Yeah.
How much, is it really expensive to start styrofoam recycling here in Newmarket at the transfer station?
I'm sure it is. I'm sure because they have to compact whatever it is. I mean, concluding that there's only two in the entire state of New Hampshire probably means that it is very expensive.
They built a pad out at the transfer station for some kind of compactor at some point in time. Do you know anything about that? Where they stand with that?
They have a whole bunch of, they've got the trash cans back up to containers, but there's lots of smaller containers for different kinds of recycling.
Like metals and stuff like that.
There's a cement pad up at the transfer station. They were intending to put some kind of compactor there.
Oh, like a baler?
Yeah, or whatever. And
Roll compactor.
yeah, I don't know. They haven't done that yet. I can follow up with them on that at some point in time and see what the story is. So,
Okay. Yeah, we can plan to have a broader conversation around recycling at a future meeting, and I don't know if anyone has ideas for experts. I know Chris is on like some sort of recycling committee or recycling group
statewide.
for the larger, for the state, and maybe having some. What is it? Okay. Yeah. Okay. But maybe having someone from there join a meeting in the future. I can chat with Chris offline. So I think we're in pretty good shape on the backyard bash. We'll coordinate maybe just via email or whatever to make sure we're there to set it up.
Yeah, I'll confirm what time the setup is, and I'm pretty sure it's like 2 hours before whenever they're supposed to start. I'll send an email to everybody. I'll get my truck to bring in the tent and the table and whatever. Bring a portable chair if you want to sit.
Okay. So that covers Backyard Bash, and I kind of talked about the Trex program and other recycling pretty briefly. I guess quick update with your recent drop-off. I think we're at 138 pounds. So we're still pretty shy. We're about halfway to the 250 pounds we need.
And they're allowing you to carry over?
They did, yeah.
Okay.
So that there's like the Trex program is like they give you a target of 250 pounds for the quarter, and if you reach that, then you are eligible for a drawing where they will, if you win the drawing, you get a bench that's made of their Trex material. And we haven't decided, but if we won that, where to put it, it would be, somewhere to benefit the community.
So this is, I don't know, you probably already said this, but just in case you didn't, and somehow I went in my head. These are the flimsy bags from grocery stores, that kind of stuff. And saran wrap and flimsy plastic.
And how are you collecting them?
Yeah, so great question. So Trex gave us bins that are, if you've ever noticed when you walk into a grocery store, there's like a bin right there. It's exactly those bins. And so they gave us 3, and we placed them, as we mentioned, at like 3 different locations: the library, rec center, and one of the high schools. The high school one was kind of a dud, but kind of not surprisingly. But
High school kids aren't carrying around.
I was
plastic bags.
They barely wear the like jacket and
I know,
everything.
yeah, it's too cool for that. I was hoping there'd be like conversations with like their parents about how cool it is, and the parents would give them bags. I don't have kids, so I think I'm pretty naive when it comes to that. So yeah, exactly, yeah. And I'm curious because I don't know if Lowe's goes to Trex because it doesn't mention that on their bin, but the other ones like at Hannaford's and Market Basket specifically say Trex. So maybe there's another program out there, but yeah, same idea. And so the 3 locations have bins. We've made it aware, mostly through Facebook. There's 2 community groups that I've posted on, and the library has done really well. And we just have people working at those facilities will just let us know when the bins need to be collected, and mostly Joe with.
I try to take a ride over there, once a week.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Just call it to me.
Yeah.
On either email or text me if you want me to go over. I have no problem.
I'm going to be gone in August for like 10 days, so.
We'll figure it out. Yeah, it'll be okay. But yeah, we collect it and then bring it to one of the, there's, through Trex, there are their participants, which is the places that have actual balers, like the grocery stores. So we take them, drop them off, I don't know what it was like at Hannaford's, but in the back.
From the backyard.
Yeah. Do you actually give it to someone or just leave it?
One time a guy came out and said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Well, I'm using Trex." He said, "I don't know why they're collecting this stuff. Well, it's a pain in the ass." I'm sorry.
Nice.
Gotta go.
Yeah. Market Basket, they're friendly. They
were friendly at Shaw's the one time
Yeah.
that I did it.
It's funny. Yeah, so I'm excited to have more conversations around how we can improve recycling.
So 123 pounds of flimsy bags, that's a lot.
Yeah, it's actually up to 138. I should have updated that based on today's.
Okay.
The last one that I did today was 15 pounds exactly. It was heavy.
That's crazy because every time I pick it up from the library, it's like 5 or 8 pounds. That's a lot.
Someone
Dense.
must have jammed it.
Yeah, or it was not plastic bags. Yeah, but we're not auditing that. Okay, so that's the Trex program. One other recycling or waste-related thing, more waste that's been on my mind and my wife's mind is, so every year our local rep, Tony, runs a trash pickup in April, I think, or May. And it's great. There's a lot of trash, but I'm sure people notice that there's trash pretty much a few weeks later. It's pretty bad, at least on Grant Road. And I was wondering if there's something we could do to improve that. Whether I know there's
Wait a minute, what's the problem?
the problem is that there's just we do a cleanup, but people are littering it's pretty bad.
Like a cleanup of the road?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not suggesting that we do another cleanup. I'm suggesting, are there alternatives, whether it's putting up signs please don't litter, we have to clean this up, or
some preventative.
or $100 fine for littering, which I doubt we could do, but
I know the town, when there was a lot of speeding along Ashwamp Road, the town did, police station had one of their, or it was town, police station, they had one of their electronic signs they put up, just to be watch your speed, just to alert people, do a little bit more of that public notice. I don't know if it's something that they'd entertain of doing something similar on that road, of just a kind of public statement of not fun, but,
Yeah.
um,
Please keep our community clean or something.
yeah, keep the community clean, don't litter, something straight.
Yeah. I imagine that's probably the path of least resistance, but
Yeah, if it's not being used for something else and it's
Yeah.
serving the town, I'm sure they'd be open to it, but, I just know they did that along Asphalt Road to kind of camp down on some of the
Yeah.
speeding people were doing along there.
I don't know, you have good DPW connections. You have thoughts? Like,
I did message board the time, so they're not being used for something else. I
Yeah.
think the PD has a smaller one, that we usually place on Brent Road. You know, how roads that are
yeah.
width there. I know DPW can support it, but used. But if there's a time of year, Tony does her annual cleanup started on Earth Day.
Mhm.
Typically, because
Good time,
it's a good time to get everything that people throw in snow banks and things just disappears.
Yeah.
So I don't know if people
It doesn't melt.
Yeah. There might be something with Turtle Fest, Conservation Commission,
Yeah.
'cause that's around Earth Day, I think, too. Those are usually around similar times.
Yeah,
So that might be,
Fest was early May, I think this year, or next year, might be close to earlier in April.
Along with everything.
Oh,
cool.
that'd be a good time to reinforce the environment side of our community committee.
Mm-hmm.
Alongside of them, with stuff like this, or like the energy, like there might be ways to partner that, because those are established events that you might be able to like build off of the energy for those
Yeah.
already.
All right. Thanks.
You want to have a conversation with PD about potentially doing a support or just the enforcement?
Well, I am curious, like, you all probably know better than me, like, what would be the appetite in the town to do, to I guess, like, consider enforcement? Probably, I'm suspecting it's, like, not going to be high because it's more work, and probably more work than it's worth, but,
Yeah, it's probably not a big police department to be spending time doing that. They're probably more interested for people to be policing parking before they police
Correct.
littering. If I had to wager, their time
Yeah.
would be spent.
Yeah, and it's also much harder than to enforce.
Yeah.
than actually
right,
in the act. So I don't know what that appetite would be.
yeah,
I'm guessing not a whole lot.
yeah.
So what happens? Do people just roll down their window and toss trash out? Is that,
I
do
do,
people actually?
my wife
do
and
that?
I do 108 from Percy Lane to the golf course.
Yeah.
And I can't tell you how many nip bottles we
Yep.
Yes,
pick up.
So many
that's on
bottles.
Daniel.
Literally 100 of them.
Ashland too.
Yeah, I bet.
So many. And
So
vapes.
they're,
Ugh.
like, they're drinking and driving these
Yeah.
little bottles, and they don't want them to be in the car if they get pulled over, so they
To
toss it
toss
I
out.
out the
think
window,
that's it, yeah.
It's just,
It's either that or it blows out from a recycling bin or trash bag. Like, sometimes that'll happen on windy days and you get
Yeah.
pulled around.
Less nefarious, but
It is
still
less
annoying.
nefarious.
Yeah, exactly. Sounds interesting.
Yeah. Our section, or the section that we did on Grant Road, was the most common thing for me, besides cigarette butts, was cigar sleeves. These little plastic.
Yeah.
There were so many of them. It was so. It was like. I was like, it has to be like someone coming home from work every day. Just. But
Well, and the cigarette butts, like, where do, it's interesting that people think, do people think they're biodegradable? They'll just go away, like, on their own?
Who knows what they think?
Huh?
So who
I
knows
would be
what
in
they
favor of, seeing if we can put the electric sign out there, something,
to start with.
don't
yeah.
litter, $100 fine.
Well,
Yeah, something like that.
maybe they don't consider that littering. Oh, I'll just put
Yeah.
my cigarette butt out here.
Yeah.
That's not really littering, that's just a
And you
cigarette.
throw, especially a lit cigarette butt out, that's littering.
Yeah. You'd be in favor of that, but we can't say don't litter, $100 fine without PD saying, like, being on board with enforcing something.
Well,
No.
I'm sure
You
they
can
would.
remind people of
I don't
See
know
it.
what our current ordinance is, but I
Oh.
imagine it's already in there.
Oh, okay.
That there is an established fine.
Okay. Okay.
It's just up to PD to enforce that, and it's
Not yet.
often, if they're catching someone in the act, sure.
But it's very difficult and unreasonable,
When
yeah.
you're talking about along the side of the road, that's not what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think reminding people, hey, there's a hefty fine if you do that. And, I'll take a look, see what the amounts are. And
Yeah, that would be in our
Maybe
ordinance.
suggest.
And it's much like the feeding ducks. There's also a fine for that.
I didn't know that.
Oh, there is?
Yes. And again, if people get caught in the act, there can be some enforcement on it, but feeding is not just sitting
I was thinking, I will review what the fines are and maybe make a motion to increase those fines. And, once the council passes that, increase in the fines, that's a good time to go stick out the electronic board.
I think
and
that's a
say,
great idea.
New littering ordinance, $50, $100
Yeah.
fine if you litter. Don't do it or something.
Okay. I like it.
I'll
Yeah,
do
I feel
that.
like the town in general has a pretty strong culture of conservation and environment stuff in general. I mean, you see like at Fest, how many people come out for that, so it's probably something I can see there being energy behind.
It'd be interesting to sort of see where, because the police officer control, probably, where I live, north of town, and we're in the 30-mile-an-hour speed limit, those are always hitting and watching for people. It'd be interesting to see if there's a lot of trash, in that section of the road as opposed to another section where the speed limit is high. There's always a police water.
Yeah, and if the people know there's a police officer, they probably avoid littering there too as well. Joe, I was curious, I've been waiting for an opportunity to provide public comment on behalf of this committee at town council meeting. If I spoke, would that be beneficial to your, to this cause, or do you want to pause on it?
Let me research what the ordinance is first, and then,
Yeah, let me know. I'm happy to though,
Yeah,
if
sure.
that would be useful.
I know Tony she actually came to the town council right after the last pickup there, and she said, hey, I don't know what the solution is, but we have an issue here in Newmarket, and that there's tons of nips
Really?
and
Okay.
beer cans.
I didn't realize she did that. That's great. Yeah, maybe she'd want to join again if we end up having a conversation at town council. Okay. Next meeting, I think, is August 26th. I know it's probably might be a tough time for everyone, but plan for that if no one has any objections. And with that, we can adjourn.
Do you want to see if other person can come on?
Yes. Yes, that would be great. Yeah, I can follow up with some action items, but I know Joe takes good notes.